online, call us or visit in store now.
This weather report brought to you by Right Price Heating and Cooling.
If you've got some old records gathering dust at home, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Vinyl's made a surprise comeback during the pandemic, with sales not seen since the 80s.
Vic Fleur's been selling records for more than 3 decades. But business has never been so good.
It's the busiest we've ever been. For instance, records that we might have got in 3 or 4 copies, now we're getting in 10 or 12.
In fact, sales at his Semaphore Road store have soared to record-breaking levels. He says vinyl made a comeback when venues closed during the pandemic. But even with restrictions eased and live music back on stage, records are holding strong.
It's going to find its own level, I think, just because people have dug out their turntables and realised how much fun it is.
It's music to the ears of Michael Bowes. After losing his job to COVID cuts, he's cashing in on the vinyl revival. He's opened a record store at Wingfield and it's going gangbusters.
I didn't expect the gains that we're getting at this stage, no, I didn't. Half of our customers will be people getting into the collecting, and the other half will be people that are replacing their collection that they disposed of years ago.
A decision they'd be regretting now. These days, even some old second-hand records can fetch hundreds of dollars. And with some bands now preferring to release new content on vinyl rather than other formats, it seems the resurgence is set to continue.
Become much more of a thing and much easier to sell a few copies.
Tim Yateman, 7 News.
Time for more on the weather now, and Amelia joins us again. Amelia, we've got a cool day ahead tomorrow.
Jane, we certainly do. Tomorrow's looking like our coldest day so far this year, so make sure you rug up. We've got cold air settling in after a front rolled through this morning. Now, it generally delivered falls of 5 to 10 millimetres over the metro area, and it led to a cool day today too. Our top was 17.1 degrees. Right now in the city, it's 13. Now, as we heard earlier, the best falls were about the hills and further south too. Wollonga had the most in the gauge, 19.2 millimetres. This afternoon, we saw strong gusty winds about our southeast as a low pressure system developed with this morning's front. They're headed east, leaving cold air behind. A high pressure system in the west will move across this week, followed closely by another front on Thursday. Interstate, and that low is driving strong winds over parts of Victoria tonight. Tomorrow, showers should clear over Melbourne, while Sydney and Brisbane could both see a storm. Back home, a mild day's in store across our far north tomorrow. 20 is the top for Murray, 17 for Port Augusta, 19 for Ceduna, Port Lincoln and Port Pirie, 17 for Kadina, 13 for Clare and Nuriootpa, 16 for Renmark. And there's still a chance of morning showers about Gulf and southern coast and parts of the Mount Lofty Ranges too. So Victor Harbour could see a morning shower or two. 16's the top there. In the city, down to 9 degrees overnight. A cloudy day's ahead, so you can't rule out a shower, probably about the hills and southern suburbs. 16's the top. On metro waters, southerly winds to 15 knots, turning southeasterly in the afternoon, with seas up to 1.5 metres. Looking ahead, we'll take a break from the wet weather Wednesday. Sunny, 17, before the showers return late in the day Thursday, possibly lingering into Friday, then drying out by the weekend. Now, before I go, let's take a look at tonight's ray of sunshine. This year's Tasting Australia Festival may be over, but this week it's set to do a world of good. If you visited the event's town square in Victoria Square, you might have noticed this little pod. It's a prototype for Forage Build, a company that makes safe and transportable homes for those in need, co-founded by former Port Adelaide player Justin Westhoff.
It's got everything you need: bedroom, bathroom, a little kitchenette, so just a space where people can be, have a bit of purpose and a bit of pride in where they stay, and give them something to look forward to and a bit of a safe spot to come and live in.
They're hoping to build a community of them in partnership with the Hutt Street Centre, and were collecting donations, all up receiving $12,000 over the event. Now, that's not enough. Tomorrow, Shane and Justin will head along with Chef Simon Bryant to the Hutt Street Centre to serve up some of the yummy food that we might have seen at Tasting Australia too. Jane.
Fantastic project. Good luck to them. Well, that's all the news we have for now. I'll have updates through the evening, but in the meantime, from all of us here in the Adelaide 7 newsroom, good night.
has he been dealt for?